Welcome to the Wild Crone Wisdom podcast. In this episode, we explore the power of cultural editors in our lives and how to reclaim our sovereignty from them. My very first podcast episode on the good girl syndrome evoked a lot of questions and responses from my listeners. One consistent query was, how do I break out of this conditioning? That is $1 million question, isn't it? Breaking out of any conditioned patterns of thinking, beliefs, and behaviors requires us to first become aware or conscious of it. And I'm glad we achieved step one with that episode. The key to healthy living is authenticity, finding your own truth, your own voice. So many of us are living out of the scripts written for us by our parents, our culture, religion, spouses, media, internet, Wall Street. The list is endless. In all of this mayhem, we lose our voice and our internal compass. The question is, did we ever have it in the first place? I would like to believe we did. My Eastern conditioning would make me believe that we come into this world with our unique blueprint and our soul contracts to fulfill. I believe we have come to explore and co create with the universe and leave our own unique imprint in the world. As parents, our job is to create a safe environment for exploration, get out of the way so that each child can blossom and come into his, her, their own highest potential. The problem arises when we, in our own fear and insecurities, mess with the process of unfolding and start to interfere. Then there is the entire problem of fitting in. Brene Brown has distinguished between fitting in versus belonging. In our effort to fit into our family culture, education systems, peer groups, social media influences, religious systems, we completely lose our internal compass, and very soon we have no idea which voices belong to us and which ones belong to others. Anytime we are working off of someone else's script for us, life feels very unfulfilling. It feels as if we are mouthing somebody else's lines. This is so evident when we watch a good movie. In a well acted movie, the actor really owns the script as if he wrote it or she wrote it and gets into the role completely. And soon the actor disappears and only the character remains. This is when we feel the satisfaction of savoring a great performance. In Bollywood movies, this is so apparent. The difference between a star who never owns the script but is only interested in maintaining his image and an actor who becomes one with the role. This is how it feels when we don't write our own script. It feels like someone who hasn't quite fully incarnated and owned their contracts. Like a poorly produced movie that bombs at the box office, our life too bombs. The cultural anthropologist and neuropsychologist, Dr. Mario Martinez, calls all these voices that have scripted our life as our cultural editors. Cultural editors, according to him, are so powerful that they can affect our gene expression. In studying various cultures across 5 continents, Dr. Martinez has observed that culture sculpts our brain. It teaches us how to interpret, perceive, and make sense of the world. It makes us mold ourselves into a form that will help us find connection and belonging in the larger socio-cultural context. Sometimes, in our quest for connection, we distort ourselves so much that we lose sense of who we ever were in the first place. This type of extreme shape shifting affects our immune system and causes diseases of the mind and body. Our bodies thrive on truth and truth based choices. Having said that, I must warn you that seeking your authentic truth is a dangerous business. The ancient wisdom of seek thy truth and the truth shall set you free is indeed very true. But it also evokes many questions, such as, are you interested in putting in the effort to seek the truth? Do you even want to know the truth? Or is denial keeping you safe and comfortable? Is it giving you connection and belonging or an apparent sense of it? And most importantly, do you really want to be free? Or is it terrifying to wonder what you would be if you weren't a codependent empath or a damsel in distress or a hero, a victim, a martyr? I'm reminded of Jack Nicholson's famous line in A Few Good Men: "You can't handle the truth." Truth seeking is a dangerous business. You better be armed with an armor of courage, shield of dispassion, and a whole artillery of self compassion, loving kindness, and empathy. It's a painful business. This is why most don't want to venture into this messy adventure. You see, once you own your truth, you will have to write your own script. Then you don't get to blame others for your problems. You can't hide behind the roles and blame it on the bad script. You have to actually do some adulting. So many people I encounter are stuck in adolescence or infancy well into their middle ages. Adulting is going to require them to get out of their avoidance, enmeshment, codependency, denial. Just the thought can be exhausting. So, unless we are willing to roll up our sleeves and get to work, cleaning one closet at a time with gentleness, kindness, and compassion, it is safer, albeit painful and unfulfilling, to remain a good girl. At least it is a known devil. But if we can find the courage to seek our truth and a community that will support our truth, we can reclaim our script from these cultural editors and make it our own. Such a life is rewarding beyond your wildest imagination and so worth the effort. Remember, reclaiming your script is a journey of courage and self compassion, where each step towards your authentic truth brings you closer to a life that is truly your own. So keep seeking, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep being kind to yourself. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Wild Crone Wisdom with your host, Vinutha Mohan. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist from the Bay Area, California, specializing in trauma and attachment repair. I'm also a certified EMDR specialist and a certified shamanic practitioner. In this podcast series, we delve into the journey of our spiritual essence having a human experience. While many social scientists study human emotions, thoughts, and behaviors, and others explore transcendental experiences, few bridge the gap to help embody the spiritual wisdom in everyday life. I call this the psycho-spiritual path. Through this podcast, I hope to share bite-sized practical insights for navigating life as an empowered sovereign being. If you found this episode valuable, we'd greatly appreciate your support. Please consider rating, reviewing, commenting, and subscribing on your podcast platform to help us reach a wider audience. You can explore more of my writings on Medium by following the link in the show notes. We'd also love to hear about your experience, so feel free to share your thoughts with us at wildcronewisdompodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for being part of our journey. Please be advised, the information provided in the Wild Crone Wisdom podcast is intended for general information purposes only. Vinutha Mohan is a licensed therapist and healer. However, the content shared in this podcast does not replace or constitute professional advice, therapy, or counseling. It is essential to consult with a qualified mental health professional for personalized guidance regarding your unique circumstances. Thank you.